I guess it's time to bring Dave Danto on.
Yeah.
And get his input on the show. Dave, how you doing? First off?
Doing great. I've just about recovered from, walking. I have my watch gives me the steps, and I think I blew 3 or 4 times past it every day during the show. So nice to be sitting in a chair again.
Well, I appreciate you coming and joining us. You're obviously extremely well known in the UC market. Basically helped create it, I would argue, with a lot of the work that you've done in the past. And luckily, also a columnist for us. You can read all his columns by just going to our website, ravepubs.com, and then go to the blogs squad, the blog section, and you can just type in his name and see all his columns. And I love, by the way, Dave, I love the fact you have an opinion on things, because too many people write fluff, and we don't want to be known for fluff.
Well, Gary, wait for the end of this week when Steph puts up the next blog. You may not love it anymore.
Let me ask your opinion on the rAVe. Let me ask your opinion on the rAVe HDX product, because I'm a rAVe user on an everyday basis at UNC. So
I pulled 4 products out to talk about that I look for things that are different, that are game changing, that are going to be, and the rAVe, what they've done with microphone mist, what you use all the time, it's a good product, but what they've done here with the HDX in adding microphones and speakers is they've created a voice lift system for large rooms at the press of a button.
Good point.
In our industry, it used to be programming and zoning and complex and this and that. I'm telling you, just plug everything in with, RJ45s and press a button, and boom, you have voice lift in the room, front to back, back to front, side to side. That's phenomenal, and that's going to change the way we do installations going forward.
Yeah, and I think, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's a piece of that I did not mention. In fact, you can actually hook up 4 external microphones to it. So it's not just like one mic, and you can use anyone's mics. I was surprised that they didn't introduce their own lav mics and handheld mics, but you can use anyone's mics with their system, and that's quite unique.
It also has Auracast built in, so work for a system
and that's
as well.
Another good point, because Bluetooth, right? You get the Auracast Bluetooth. Now, Dave, one thing I want to mention about that is I kind of alluded to this hub. I like the way they're doing the hub versus the way they did the console. Not console. What did they call it? Connect. Was it called Connect? I forget what their little connection box
from the HDL series.
Yeah, for the HDL series. What do you think of the hub?
Again, what I said to people, I said to Nancy Knowlton, one of the founders of the company, is that we always talk in technology that any really good technology is indistinguishable from magic. You put these things on the wall, you plug the wires in, and do you bring in the audio engineer? Do you bring in the integrator? No, you push a button, and it sets itself in the room. And that's the kind of amazing technology that we're starting to come out with in the industry.
Yeah. And so I had also kind of compared them and Barco and Hudley in the same sort of vein of like brands that can pull off what they're trying to pull off. In this case, rAVe, I think, is clearly announcing the product early to make sure that people know that it's coming, maybe get some feedback from the customers, but also maybe slow down some sales of their competitors' products out there, which is smart, in my opinion, from a marketing perspective. But Barco launched at the at InfoComm, a new product as well, and also has an MDEC codec built into it. Talk about the importance of that. Like, what is Microsoft's new MDEC system? Why does this matter, and why should people pay attention?
It's terrific. It's interesting. I'll detail it. I could spend the next hour on MDEC and Microsoft. I won't go there. But that's actually not even the reason why this is so cool. Their new product is called the ClickShare Hub. It's the next generation of the ClickShare, and in addition to doing everything ClickShare always did with presenting in BYOD and BYOM, they now have a codec built into the box. They now have an MDEC, which is Microsoft's Android operating system, built in. So if you bring your computer in, you can use your computer BYOD. If you don't bring your computer in, you can still do the call because it's got the codec built into it. But that's not the cool thing. If anybody who's been using ClickShare for years knows that most people plug in the button, press the button, and they're on. Right. But some enterprises don't allow that because they keep their USB blocked and they won't let you load software, or they won't do anything else. Their new generation button says, oh, you won't let me load software? Okay, pretend I'm a display. And it works off an alt display port. So now anybody can use the click share button. There's never a restriction anymore. And that's a game changer in the industry.
Good point. Yep, good point.
That is a good point.
Now, you mentioned Hudley, and Hudley was on my list as well. I think I'm going to start calling the Hudley the video box, not the video bar, because
that's fair. It's not really a bar.
I remember when I was with Poly, when we came out with the first thing, the internal name for the video bar at the time was Kitten. Soft, fuzzy, comfortable, and everybody has Me Too'd that product, soft and easy and rounded and curved. And Hudley came out and said, we're a piece of equipment. Deal with it. Sharp, round edges, hard box. Of course, the technology works, but they're coming out and making a design statement that says, you know what? We'll celebrate the technology. Let's not try to hide it anywhere. And you know what? I think that that's actually a pretty refreshing thing for the industry to do.
Works. I think it works. And I think that the round edges, we've kind of been there, done that a million times, right? So Hudley differentiates itself on the market by just being their design is a little bit different. But it's a great product too, right? What was it, 16 mics built into that thing? 16
mics, and they've always had a system they call Hudley Crew, which lets you hook up multiple outside-in cameras to do switching. So now this becomes the hub for the Hudley Crew, so you can connect 4 cameras into it plus its own camera. Sounds good, looks good. It's like a big thumbs up that they've really kind of taken this back to where it should have been, which is now let's celebrate the tech.
Let's celebrate the tech, but the tech doesn't have to be ugly, but let's celebrate it.
And you saw they had those big color covers that you can get for it, right? They had a green one and a yellow one, and you can order custom. So it was something that was really nice and different, and I like nice and different.
I do too.
Lastly, I want to ask you about this the Cisco Vision Room Vision PTZ camera. What's so great about that camera? I know it got a lot of exposure at the show.
Well, interestingly, the Cisco debuted that camera both at Cisco Live, which started the day before InfoComm, and at InfoComm at the same time. And I've seen the camera. I respect Cisco, so I'm assuming it's a beautiful camera. I'm not telling you it's the best image in the world or the best lens in the world. It's a very, very good camera, but it hooks up with one wire. You plug an RJ45 cable into it, Cat6 wiring throughout the room that does video over Ethernet, that does power over Ethernet, it does your control through the system. Think about all the wires that we in our industry have had to pull, HDMI and fiber and all the rest of this. And not just that, think about all the companies that are making these little Gazeta boxes that let you extend these wires. If we're now saying cameras and microphones and speakers are all going to hook up with an RJ45 and we're done, that's going to be game-changing for our industry. So kudos to Cisco for following their mic with the camera that does the same thing. One cable, nothing else.
And that's the big benefit of AV over IP. A lot of people are talking about the battle of whose AV over IP is going to win. In this particular case, nobody cares because they just want the system to work together. And this is a good application of where it isn't going to matter as long as it works because you have a single cable solution. You've dumbed down the system connectivity. You've also made it easy aesthetically to hide that cable. And by the way, you're using a cable that's used for every other thing in the building.
But think about, that when I was back in my days of being an end user in enterprises and financial services, if I wanted to put a camera on the wall to shoot the back of a room or an auditorium, not only did I have to mount the camera, not only did I have to pull the cable, I had to call an electrician because I had to put a power outlet up there.
Yeah,
right.
I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
All right. So look, Dave, thanks for everything you do for the industry specifically. And for us, we really appreciate partnering with you and you being part of rAVe and really appreciate your support.
My pleasure. Always happy to join you guys. Have fun.
All right. Thank you very much.